Go.
Hello everyone. Hello. I know you've.
And hello from me as well.
Yeah. And we are a part of the series of Have You Speed Your Pants. It is the new YouTube series, probably going to be the best YouTube car series in the world. Me and Dad will be reviewing cars, and just to say, I'm not a midget, I'm a 10-year-old boy.
And we've got a great treat for you tonight. We're reviewing one of the most recent offerings from Alfa, the great Alfa Romeo Brera. That's coming up later on. Today we're going to be looking at something special. Aston Martin's came out with the DB9, Alfa Romeo brought you the Brera. This is the replacement car to the GT. Alfa brought out the Brera, the GT was going to disappear, and then the Italians decided to keep the GT. Come up this way and have a look. This particular model is the interesting one. This is the top of the range. This is the 3.2 litre four-wheel drive, no less, effort from Alfa Romeo, bringing out 250 brake horsepower and as near as, damn it, 250 kilometers an hour. It's not the fastest car you'll ever drive, but even at a standstill this car already looks like it's doing 50 kilometers an hour. This is a great colour combination. Black exterior, black interior, black windows. You can't get sharper than that. Interesting thing you do note is those 18-inch alloy wheels. Beefy, low profile, stick to the road, and with that four-wheel drive system this car ain't moving anywhere sideways very quickly. So that brings us to the interior of the car. So we go around, check out this car here. What we see is a very plush cabin. This is like a Milanese cafe. This is the dogs, as they say. First thing you notice, this car just gives you a big warm hug when you get in it. The cabin's well appointed. The Italians know how to finish beautiful leather work with the brushed aluminium. Really sets this car off. Interesting thing, no keys anymore. Straight in the dash. Let's see how this car performs. Fantastic. That throaty engine takes this car from 0 to 60 in a shade under 6 seconds. This car is the poor man's Lamborghini, but don't let that put you off, because this is driving style. This makes you feel like you've really made it. This makes you feel that you really belong on the road. And as we've always said, unless you've owned an Alfa, you cannot call yourself a true petrolhead. Happy motoring, enjoy. Cabin, this car is giving you that hug. Again, straight in with the key. Nice. The car just quietly purrs away, ready to unleash those horses. 6-speed manual box, like a true racing car. A couple of seats in the back there, but you're going to have to have very small children if you want them to fit in there. Nevertheless, today is Sunday and this is the best day to drive an Alfa Romeo. The car feels like it's really on the road. The car can be used every day at the same time as this car likes the track. It just seems to quietly and effortlessly get you to where you want to go, whether you're taking the kids to soccer on a Saturday or whether you need to just get something at the supermarket. This car feels versatile. It's got the usual traction controls. When we're on the racetrack we take those traction controls off. However, when you've got a four-wheel drive system, it's difficult to throw this car sideways. This car sticks to the road, and more importantly, in the wet, it's like a limpet. It just sticks to the road and makes you feel as safe as you can go. Like most Italian cars, they like to rev highly. The engine likes to be screaming at you so that you know it's really powerful and ready to go. Car accelerates responsively. All you have to do is kick the revs up and put your foot to the floor. Ready to go. The one thing you do notice when you get to the traffic lights, most people look at your car and wonder what it is. They're not quite sure, but those lovely sleek lines that the Alfa offers up are unmistakable. It's a shame the brera is going to be no more. The Italians have moved on. They've got nice cars now, like the Giulietta and the Mito. However, the Brera is probably one of those cars that people with Alfas will remember for quite some time to come. As I said, to make the car accelerate is no problem at all. This car loves to accelerate. The Italians do a lovely exhaust note, and this car is no exception. This car makes you feel like you've spent a bit of money on it. This car makes you feel like you really should keep the radio or the CD off, because the sound you want to be hearing is that sweet V6. 3.2 litre, it also comes in a 2.2 4-cylinder front wheel drive. My advice to anyone considering this car is work a bit harder, save a bit harder, and get the top of the range. The 2.2 looks the same. The only real differing feature between both is the choice of alloy wheels. The 2.2 has more of a BBS style alloy wheels, whereas this is the trademark horseshoe alloy wheel that Alfa Romeo brought to us several times now. You feel that this car has definitely come out of the racing stable. This reminds me of the Alfa GT, of the Alfetta. This reminds me of that remarkable 3-litre engine that Alfa have been renowned and famous for. They've beefed it up. It's 3.2 now. It needs a 3.2. To be honest, I would have preferred this car if it had a bit more horsepower, because that 4-wheel drive system is very heavy and you need that extra horsepower just to drive over the line. This car can come in an automatic version. Again, why would you buy a car like this in automatic? This car is supposed to be driven. This car is supposed to be taken out to the countryside, roll around in the grass with it and tickle its tummy, let you know you love it, because, quite frankly, you will love it. In true Italian style, there's been no expense spared here. Giugiaro, those world famous Italian designers who have designed many Ferraris, unmistakable design here in the sense we've now got 3 front bi-xenon headlights. As if that wasn't enough, we've got the 2 fog lights at the bottom. There are 4 lamps at the front. Coming round to the side, we've gone with the clear lenses on the side. Fantastic. Lovely sleek lines, much better than that old Alfa GT. Lovely sleek back. And again, they've continued on with the 3 main lights, followed by the parking and reverse lights there. 4 lights at the back. This thing is a veritable football station. Coming down here, this engine needs to get rid of those exhaust gases. And Alfa thought, shall we have 1, 2 pipes? Not these guys. These guys thought the only way to do it, symmetry 2 and 2. This car feels like it's clearing its throat every single time. Interestingly, look what we have here. Coming from the Alfa stable, the old 156. Now, the 156 was not the best choice from Alfa. It still has all those trademark elements of Alfa. However, Alfa needed to update. And by update they did. What they did, those smart people at Alfa, is they essentially took the brera, decided unless you've got very, very small children, this car is just too small. So why don't we take all the best elements of the brera, combine those elements from the 156 and let's see if we can create something a bit special. And what we did come up with was the 159. Essentially what has happened with the new 159, Alfa cut that car in half about this point here, stuck in another 2 seats, a bigger boot, and turned it into a 159. What that means is all the variants that you get in the Alfa essentially exist in the 159. You've got top of the range 3.2 4-wheel drive, and look at those Brembo brakes. Those racing brakes are really needed for a car with this power. In order to stop this car, you've got to keep it going. So we've got Brera at the front, business at the back, joined together, we've got a 159. You have got a family car with a racing heart, and that's very important. How can you remain that petrol head status in your life and have that real life practicality as well? Do you know what? Lots of us have family and children, and we've just got to respect the fact that we need to accommodate their needs as well. We need to cater for them and to them. The 159 has done it extremely well. And now to the highlight. Under here is the power plant, the V6 JTS twin phaser. Could Alfa have packed any more under the hood? Oh, there's a little space there, maybe they could have. But beyond that, this engine just says, I'm going to fire into life, and when I do, you're going to know all about it. This Alfa have always been known for their good engines. This is no exception. This engine truly powers this car in the direction it's supposed to go, forwards and very fast. This engine has been well engineered, it's been well put together, unlike some of the older cars that Alfa produced in the past, when, quite frankly, the only times you really saw Alfas on the road were at the side of the road, with steam pouring out of their bonnet and their owners with a slightly embarrassed, slightly smug look in their face. Hopefully this engine doesn't cause the same number of problems for those lovers of motoring. If you've got the money and you want to buy a BMW, a small BMW or a small Ford, I think you would be mad if you didn't transfer that money towards something like this. If you're going to drive a car, why don't you make it a good one? Why don't you make it like you enjoy every time you're out driving this car? This car is superb. This, in my view, has to be the best looking car, and that's a strong statement coming out from the Alfa statement. This is Alfa's best car they've ever produced. I don't know what the next one will be, but what I will say is it's definitely better than the last one. This car is a joy to drive, and I'd recommend it to anyone. Only one thing left to do, and that's go out in the sunshine and enjoy.
Hello, we are back again. Thank you for that wonderful review, Dad. Now, where do you think the Alfa Romeo Brera actually came in the review? Well, look over there. There's our cool car wall, and it's got a ton of badges on it. So, what I'm going to do now is put this on. Then, surprise, surprise, that the Alfa Romeo Brera goes there. Coolest car. Yeah. Yes, so if you've got one, you've got the coolest car. So that's it for tonight. Good night, have a good day, or whenever you're watching this. Bye.